Yes. Just we began this gospel just now. Uh, so we are in the page 401, and the chapter is Rules for Householders and Monks. Somehow this was not working. Our computer was little not working, so now it's online. So just begin like 5 minutes ago. Uh, Rules for Householders and Monks, chapter 20 of the Gospel. An entry is dated Sunday, March 9, 1884, on page 401. And we're talking about how Sri Ramakrishna says, mind pure. The yogis have mind pure. And when mind is impure, that is attached to woman and gold, that is a mind that goes outwards for the enjoyment of world and worldly things. That is called impure mind. Mind which doesn't anymore enjoys the worldly thing, that's called pure mind. And here it says, Sri Ramakrishna is saying, the obstacles to yoga is woman and gold. Yoga is possible when the mind becomes pure. The seat of the mind is between the eyebrows, but its look is fixed on the navel and organs of generation and evacuation. That is to say, on woman and gold. So, mind, though naturally it should be seeing God, so that's why the seat of the mind is between the eyebrows. Eyebrows, when the mind goes to eyebrows, it wants to have the vision of God, awareness of God always there. So that is the natural state. But obstacles are there. Our mind, it slips away from the natural state, and it goes to the worldliness. And the worldliness is represented by the three lower chakras of the Kundalini. And what are they? That is the Mooladhara, Swadhisthana, and Anahata. That is at the level of Mooladhara at the base, at the basic level, then at the then above that, those two levels. That is the levels where there is desire for, when the mind goes there, there is a desire for enjoyment of the world, and worldly things, it is pleasures, sensory pleasures, eating food, all those are the said when mind has slipped down below your heart level. And at the heart level is the like the mind has just raised to spiritual level. Below that, it is worldly level. So though the seat of the mind is in the eyebrows, if you go down up to the heart level, that is fine. But if it goes down than that, we are worldly. So a natural state will be at the eyebrows level, when one is always aware and always engaged with the divine thing. That is what is called eyebrows level, at eye level of eyebrows. That's what Sri Ramakrishna said. And that's why it says, but its look is fixed on the navel and organs of generation and evacuation. Whose looks? Those people who are of worldly minded, they are more aware, and their thought goes only up to that, up to sensory enjoyment, pleasures, enjoyment of sensory pleasures, and about eating food and all those things, nothing more than that. And those are so gross enjoyment of the senses that fine enjoyments are, they miss the finer enjoyments of the same mind will enjoy when it is pure, of holy company, of talk about God, or the joy in repeating God's name. That is much more enjoyable, subtle and intenser enjoyment. But that is somehow either one doesn't have any experience or idea about that joy, or one is so engrossed in the lower joys of the sense, so they never try to get beyond that, or there is nowhere to be found the direction that there is a greater joy. There is no teacher has been found, no scripture has ever been read, that there is a higher joy to be experienced by mind, and that is the spiritual joy, says Sri Ramakrishna. And he says this is the obstacle of real enjoyment of the mind. But through spiritual discipline, the same mind looks upward. When the mind looks upward, it looks at God. When it looks down, it looks at the world as World as what? Not as the place where you have the opportunity to serve your fellow human beings. You have the opportunity to utilize your powers for the service of others. But world is seen as the object of enjoyment. So that is the impure mind. But the same mind, when purified, gets the real upward turn and finer turn and greater enjoyment. Real joy comes from the purity of the mind, as because it gets connected with the spiritual awareness. Otherwise, it is only worldly awareness. So that is the difference, Sri Ramakrishna says. What are the spiritual disciplines that gives the mind its upward direction? Not only Sri Ramakrishna gives the says about the spiritual mind and the worldly mind, mind that is involved in the worldliness and in the spirituality. What a great teacher we have! And he says also, how can one take their mind towards purity and towards spirituality? And that's what he said. What are the spiritual disciplines that give the mind its upward direction? One learns all these by constantly living in holy company. The rishis of olden times lived either in solitude or in the company of holy persons. Therefore, they could easily renounce woman and gold and fix their minds on God. So, this is the sign of purified mind. That mind is fixed on God. It has come above the worldliness. And that how it happens, the one only Sri Ramakrishna says is the holy company. And the rishis used to have holy company. When one is in holy company, then one learns about this purity of mind, about the joy of being with God, and the importance of spiritualizing everyday life, and how one can become really free from all worries and anxieties and tensions, and really find true path of peace in this human life by being in touch and company of the holy. And he says, after being company of the holy, and when you know how to make mind pure and still, then also there is need of being alone, being trying to inculcate and cultivate that idea of the divine being. That is, you be in holy company, listen to the thing. It calls Sravana in Vedanta. After the Sravana is done, then one has to do Manana. Manana is thinking about what you have heard and trying to try and fix it by yourself, whether they are correct or not, what I heard from the person, holy person, and to find if that is logical, that is acceptable to your reasoning, and then you try to absorb that, try to be in that situation. So that is the time is called being in a lonely place. So lonely, that's why in Bhaja Govindam also it says, Satsangatve Nissangatvam, Nissangatve Nischalatatvam. So Satsanga, this what it leads, Sri Ramakrishna says, what happens by holy company? You get uh, you get inclination towards the thought of God. You get inspired to think of God. That is the holy company. Some words, some inspiration comes. Now from that comes Nissangatva. Then you remain alone and think about what I heard. It seems true. Yes, God is the reality. World, after all, is not the source of real final joy. This attachment or your joining of our senses with the sense objects, tongue with something tasty, or eyes with something that we see and attractive, is not the real joy. It is there for some time, and it is then tiring and is boring. After some time, everything becomes boring. You eat rasagulla, so tasty. Rasagulla outside, it touches the tongue. This connection, it gives so much joy. But how long? You want first Rasagulla, so tasty. Second Rasagulla, not as tasty as the first one. After that, 3, 5, 10. After 10, 11th Rasagulla, no, 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 I don't want that. Now gone, all desire, all joy of this is gone. Gita has a beautiful verse. It says, Ehi sanspar saja bhoga dukkha yonaya evate adyantavanta kaunteya nateshu ramate Buddha. Buddha means wise persons, those who know. They do not indulge in the sense enjoyment. Why? There itself in that verse, Sri Krishna says, whatever joy or pleasure is attained by the contact of senses with the sense object, ultimately it is the source of suffering. Dukkha yoni. Yoni means from where the thing comes. Source is called yoni. So the contact of the sense with the sense object is the source of suffering. Anyway, in the looks, yattadagre, um, amritopamam pariname vishamiva. So, yattadagre mritopamam pariname vishamiva. Like in the beginning, it looks so wonderful, eating ice cream, having rasagulla, having the music of the jazz and rock and all sorts of things, all they say. So nice you feel. After that, you are tired and no, you don't want to hear anything. Or our classical music is untiring. So you have to get to find your mind to get the taste of classical music. It doesn't happen by itself. Otherwise, for many people, it's boring. What is that? Tung, 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 like that they say. So we have to get the taste and find the thing, how it goes. And then you really enjoy the person who enjoys classical music is much more than the people who enjoy that dancing and jumping music, all that. This is for the short term. But classical music and sweet music and the music that has the songs that have the meaning, like devotional songs by Rabindranath or by any other singer, uh, like that Dasa of our Tamil Nadu. That huh? Kanakadasa in Tamil Nadu, Purandaradasa. Purandaradasa songs. All these are so wonderful songs, immortal are their music. So you enjoy more. So that's how one should try to find the greater joy of the mind when it becomes purified. That's the purified mind. To understand that there is a greater joy when we try to find that joy, and that becomes Nisangatvam, to live alone. You don't want any other person to disturb you. You don't have to find joy in listening to the news. And always we try to disturb our mind. During when COVID started, people are all listening. What happened in New York? What happened in Delhi? All the listening thing. And once done, so today there were so many people died here, so many reports. After that, again after 2 hours, what is happening now? If is still more trying to agitate the mind. That's what we do. And like that, everything we try to go on listening to the news, which disturbs our mind. And nothing new you get in the news. It is all old thing you get in the news, though it is called news. But all thing and same agitating, and we are all interested in agitating news. Sometimes they said, why newspapers always print the news that is disturbing and always exciting? Why don't they publish positive news? Always negative. Did something wrong? That there, where was robbery? Where was murder? Why always that in the newspaper? There are so many things people do. Some are there honest people. Some are very helping people. Why does it not given with that importance? So newspaper people or journalists, they say, if we give positive, people do not look at that. They only are interested in all negative and news like that, because we want to disturb our already disturbed mind. So that has become, so we are becoming used to that, because we don't know about the peace of the mind that can come through the knowledge. That's why the wise one, Buddha, they would not indulge in the sense enjoyment. And that is, they know that every contact of the sense with the sense enjoyment is a source of suffering, dukkha yoni. So here also Sri Ramakrishna said, after that, whether in holy company or company of themselves, the rishis used to dwell and enjoy their life in thought of God after the mind had become pure. So, holy company, the very first, very basis of trying to make the mind pure. From holy company comes holy instructions. Then we follow the instruction, do this, don't do that, speak this, behave this way. And if you are interested in really find that it can make your life, you can change, transform your life, then you listen to the person what you have heard. If you are so much egoistic, then you say, oh, what he says, it's not right. Someone says, don't find fault with others. Then you say, what are you saying? Where do I find fault with others? You are not right. There is real fight. There is real fault. I find justice. All you make yourself assert your own ideas without listening anything, any advice to the person. And then you don't do in the, you have to do. That's why in the satsangatve nissangatvam. Satsanga happened, but Nisanga was not done. You never do manana, only sravana. That's why God gave 2 years. They will say 1 year you listen, another year goes out. That finished. Nothing goes inside. So there were three statues, they say. And what is the price? Made of same statues. What is the price of this statue? So they say one statue is like 100 rupees, another is like 1,000 rupees, another 50,000 rupees. They say all are made of some same metal. Why so much difference? So he says there's a difference you want to know. Then he put the one wire from 1 year, it went through another year. So this was the cheapest, and 100 rupees. And what was another? It went through, wire was put through 1 year, it went through mouth. It was 1,000 rupees. And what was 50,000 rupees? Here the wire was put and it went into the heart. So what that person listens is cogitates. Sravana, then manana. Sravana and vachana only. No manana. You have not digested, not understood, just you go on saying and interpret in a wrong way, in your own way, what you have heard. But cogitation, mananam, so that is the value that says same thing, but the meaning is great. What you hear, it should be, you should think about that and make that your own. That's how the holy company will be utilized if you give weightage to what you hear. Otherwise, it's just frivolous. You see, you hear, and from this year and throw from that year, 100 rupees value. So they had no fear, nor did they mind. Acha. What the rishis were, therefore they could easily renounce woman and gold and fix their minds on God. Again, renouncing woman and gold doesn't mean becoming a sannyasi. Rishis in the yod were householders. Their renunciation of woman and gold, that is, they were not attached to the worldliness. So that is what is called renouncing Kamini Kanchana. They were family persons. They had a wife, they have children, they used to teach to the students, they have students, and they used to speak about the highest truths of Vedanta, but they were never attached to anything. So that is what they were. That's why they had renounced woman and gold. So woman and gold renunciation is for not only for monks, but for even for householders, that Sri Ramakrishna said. But through spiritual discipline, the same mind looks what's up. They had no fear, nor did they mind the criticism of others. So after we fear of our own things, this basic fear of death, then old age, disease. What to do? All this come. Even if you are fear or not fearful, all these will come. Old age comes slowly, and disease is also a part of human body, and death will ultimately come. So whether you are afraid or not afraid, they will come. So it is foolishness to be afraid of those things. So that's why she said they are not afraid of anything. This is personal. I'm not afraid after we are afraid of what others will say. That is another fear. Oh, what others will say if I do that. If I do japam for a long time in the shrine, in the temple I come, and all are talking here and doing the things and having so much thing. If I sit in the shrine for 1 hour, oh, they may say I've become too much religious or I'm showing off. So what will they say? Even to become spiritual, also we are fearful. What will they say? So that fear also doesn't happen to them. They are not fearful of criticism of others. In many things, we face the criticism. What will they say if I do that? The societal, this criticism is very important thing that guides our life to do the things that we could even avoid such things if we don't mind what people say, especially in doing good to others. So the rishis were free from the fear of whatever from their bodily changes or fear of the criticism of others in what they do. So they become strong, they become free, they enjoy the freedom of what they are doing. I do this, whatever you like, you may do. We are often very fearful of what others say. So that's how sometimes we say, oh, that person goes there. If I go, that person will know I go to the shrine, and what that person will say. My friends will say, oh, now I'm frequenting more to Kalibadi, and they will say, oh, you have become more religious. Oh, I have to go hide and very quietly go to Kalibadi. Fear of even becoming good, fear of even loving God. That also happens. People, that's what they do. So they have no fear. Why fear of being good? Let them criticize. Let them say he's becoming holy. Thakur said no. Let people say that he has gone crazy thinking of God. Let people say you have gone, that person has gone crazy thinking of God. Everyone is crazy in the world. If you are crazy after money and power and name and fame, world says, oh, very nice. Oh, he is now working for more money. Always spends time in stock market. He has no time at all. He made profit of so many thousands of dollars today. Wow, what a wise person making so much that. But so crazy, only after money, making money and making money. Already has many $1 million. After that, also engaged only in that. Oh, night time I have to see stock market of after done here in the Canada and US. Now stock market in Hong Kong, stock market in Germany. What is they are always trying to do that. And that person is supposed to be very wise person. And he is really crazy person running only after money. So that type is okay. But if we think of God and we do meditation and japam for 2 hours, they will say, oh, that person is getting crazy. He doesn't look after dress. Have you seen the dress? He wears the same dress of the day after day. He's not even changing the dress. Like that, people will start saying, you have to take care of the dress. And that person, he comes in Honda Civic and such a big manager. What is that? So like that, the people think here. So crazy, he's crazy. He doesn't take care of that. So that is not the craziness. That is the sattvika thing. He doesn't care for what type of brand, what brand of your car is there, is which area you live, or nothing like that. He's more interested in doing good to the company or to good to the office and serving the people and thinking high. Perhaps that person helps to the people who are really needy and doesn't spend money in his clothes or in his thing that is not needed, that is not essential. So that type of thing doesn't is not afraid of criticism of others. What people will say. He's become immune that he's become free from that sort of bondage, this slavery to people's opinion. Let people say anything, doesn't matter. I don't mind. So like that. In order to be able to renounce, one must pray to God for the willpower to do so. To renounce the woman and goal, to renounce the worldly attachment. One should pray to do so for God's power to develop that willpower. One, and he's saying this to all householder. In order to able to renounce, one must pray to God for the willpower to do so. And this renunciation is not the renunciation of the family life or the become a monk. That renunciation is renunciation from the worldliness, because worldliness is the thing that makes us suffer. The renunciation of worldliness makes us pure hearted and free from attachment and joyful. One must immediately renounce what one feels to be unreal. The rishis had this willpower. Through, through it, they controlled the sense organs. If the tortoise once tucks in its limbs, you cannot make it bring them out even by cutting it into four pieces. Kurumunga Nivasarvasa says in the Bhagavad Gita. How Sthita Pragya is there? Sthita Pragya senses are withdrawn. Now senses are not taken out and sent to the objects. No way. Disconnect it with the objects. It is no desire to have any enjoyment for the object. So much withdrawn that it will anything will not make it come out. No external stimulus or something. You throw the bait, it doesn't come out. It has withdrawn, like the limbs of tortoise. It feels danger. Then you shake tortoise, it will not come. You cut it into pieces, even the limbs, head and limbs will not come out. That's why the example of tortoise is given in Sri Ramakrishna also gave in the Gita also. Kurmunga nivasarvasa. That's a sign of sthita pragya. Always mind dwelling inwards. And that's what it says. When you know it is unreal, why you indulge in it so much? That's all about the not getting attached to the unreal thing. When you know thing is impermanent and unreal, then attachment doesn't come because we don't know it is temporary and unreal. We think it is permanent. That's why attachment comes. One Swami very nicely said, when we sit in the plane and our seat, nice seat, window seat, I got paid some money for getting the seat, and as soon as plane lands, people are still there. It has not gone to, and people want to give up that seat. Why you are so much interested to say I got my window seat? Because you know it is temporary only for the flight. After that, it is not there. So you want to give up that without any hesitation. But in the case of this world or anything in the world, we get it so much attached because we think it is permanent. This body is permanent. This house is permanent. Like that, it happens. So when we have to move from house, so much of sadness that comes for people. I was here for last 40 years, and I came here as a young person like that. When people were moving from the rented house in Swamiji's house, when Swamiji's house was being reconstructed, where Swami Vivekananda was born, there were people who were all rented that house by something, and then we got finally, and it was dilapidated, old, very small, stingy, dark, and all that. Dude. And they were the Ramakrishna mission made nice quarters for them in the big apartment, big rooms, airy, and all that. But when they were going, they were crying to leave that house. Oh, I came here as a newlywed wife and I have to leave like this. Though they are getting good things, they thought it is permanent. That's how the attachment comes. So attachment is that type of thing. We are not. We do not feel sorry to whenever we have to take out our painful tooth. The painful tooth it grows, it's better because it is painful. But only for tooth that is not working in painful, we see thing that way. But any other thing that is to be given up, we feel so sorry. Oh, there is surgery and my half liver has to go because there is surgery. Oh, my half liver is already damaged. It is not working. It is now become poisonous. That's why surgery it will given me out. Be happy. Worthless thing is going. Why are you feeling so sad for half liver? So for you, you never saw even you saw your liver. But that's how our attachment to the things of the things there. Whole thing is that way. Our body is so temporary thing, and we think that it is always will be with me. From how always? From birth to death. That is the position of the body. And how much is that? 50, 60, 80, 90, sometimes 100, rarely. So 80 to 90, mostly if you live long, 80 to 90. They say after 70 years, up to 70 years you have lived your life. 70 years, now you should be ready to quit anytime when death comes. After 70, diseases will come. Heart, blockage, and then cancer, all the things that you have to leave this body, thing will come. And this 70 to 80, now it's declining, health is going down. Now it is apakshiyate. Now maturity gone. So after 70, done. That is the life you are given all. After that is all on repairing mode. Old thing repair and sometimes it goes. Now get ready to give up the life. And they say after like that, repairing, it reach 80. After that also, every day is blessing. Today I become 80th birthday. Happy birthday to you, Papa, for 80th birthday. Now after that, the 80th next day, blessing. Oh, I am still alive today. You have to count that way. Oh, surprise. I'm still alive after 80 plus 1 day. Like every day is a gift after 80. Because 80 to 90 is the time. Generally, people after that, nothing is there. So mostly it is going to hospital and changing this, changing that, always that. Sometimes you change the eye, sometimes you change this cataract and knee, always replacing. Because repair starts happening. But still, so much repair of the body happens. Still, we are not able to understand that this body is instrument. I am not the body. At least when it is repaired, something was there you were born with, it is thrown, and you got something mechanical iron or steel thing. Then also you think your body is yours. That body is just a machine. You are not the body at all. It is just an instrument. That sort of idea when will come. So much of attachment, so much of ignorance. We never try to do that. That's what Sri Ramakrishna says. You should have no attachment for the things that is unreal, impermanent. What is unreal? Whatever is impermanent is unreal, in that sense, unreal. So, the worldly man is a hypocrite. Not the householders. We should think that way. Worldly man. Being a householder, we are spiritual, or at least we are trying to be spiritual. We are not of this category, hypocrite. Hmm? Worldly man who is attached to the world. If we are in the world, but we are not worldly. We are spiritual. We are in the world. We are, many of us are householders, we have family, but we are not worldly. The things of the world we do not see at so much importance. The money, position, power, that is not end all. We may need something to survive. We sometimes get the job goes and we become little worried, but that's for the survival. Otherwise, we don't want to become the Prime Minister of Canada or president of some um, General Secretary of the United Nations. We don't have that hankering. So we are not worldly in that sense. And we don't want to be billionaire. That how this person is so much billionaire, Microsoft in charge, or our Tesla, that person so much. I have to find way. That is the thing. But even though they were, some of them are so rich, even they are spiritual. They want to utilize their money and give. Just you heard that our Premji, Azim Premji, he gave so much of his money. 90% of his income he just donated to some Warren Buffett, some fund or something, and he said 10%, few $1 million enough for me. So there are people also, those seem to be worldly. They earn money. At one time they were very worldly, but their spiritual insight has grown, and they found there's no importance of real holding on to wealth. So they want to utilize that for the service of the people of the world. So like that it may happen. So here it says the worldly man is a hypocrite. What type of man is a hypocrite? He cannot be guileless, who is very attached to the world. Okay. He professes to love God, but he is attracted by worldly objects. So, two sides are there. One is who doesn't think about God at all, doesn't believe in God and world, always immersed in the worldliness. Another is has one idea that there is God, but the pull is by the world. Pull towards God is very feeble, very weak, and so very much he's weighted towards the worldliness. He doesn't give God even a very small part of the love he feels for human and whole. He feels for the worldliness, the things of the world is so important for God. He doesn't give any part of that love. His love is world. But he says that he loves God. So if he says he loves God because he goes to temples or churches other places of worship, and wear some religious mark, and then he thinks and says that I love God, but his love of God is not there at all. So that person is hypocrite. Who is a hypocrite? Who says one way and does another way. That is called hypocrite. One who is mon muk act. What he says, that he thinks. So that it says, making mind and speech one. Hmm? Vang me manasi pratishthitam. May, Upanishad says, may mind be established, may my speech be established in the mind. That is, whatever I speak, may that I think, that I think one way and do another way. I love the world and worldly things, and yet I profess to be loving God. So he said that he loves God. And to Mani Malik, he says, give up hypocrisy. Thakur to Mani Malik. Thakur was so direct to the people. He never thought that what he will think, whether he will come or not. Mani Malik was a rich person. Must be he's helping also Sri Ramakrishna. But he was very direct to say to the people, give up hypocrisy, love God. And when Sri Ramakrishna says, give up hypocrisy, love God, like it seems like a scolding, like insulting. But no, it's not that. It is blessing. When he says give up his hypocrisy, then it becomes he gives up hypocrisy. Slowly it will work upon him. That's why when they say, no, if God kills, you are mukta. Because killing of God, killing by God is not the killing at all. It is making your soul free. It's so you are so pure, you become so pure by the action. All your karmas are lost when God kills you. That's why all these asuras and all that. Ravana was killed by Rama, and Kamsa was killed by Krishna. After Kamsa was killed by Krishna, you all became mukta because it is not killing. It is the mercy of God that he made his body, his soul free from the bondage of the body. When Ahalya was the stone, he said, become, was touched by Rama. So then Ahalya came out. She became free from the bondage of stone. Like that, from the bondage of body, he becomes free. And that we see as killing, whether it is Vali or Kamsa or Ravana, all is that is being free. That's what Buddha said. Don't blame that. Who was that? Then don't blame that person. One person invited him of the very low caste, and he fed him perhaps pork, and it was contaminated or something by that food poisoning, and Buddha died. And he knew that after he died, all will blame him and make him punish or all be against that person. And that's why he said, that person did so much good to me, like Sujata saved my life and I could be enlightened. Similar thing of kindness is done by that person without knowing, what he's doing. Because he gave me the food, now it's time to give up. I lived 80 years and preached you the thing, gave you the message. After that also, if you are not enlightened, even I live 80 years more, nothing happened to you. It's time for me to finish this Naralila. And he said, I am so grateful to him as I am grateful to that lady who saved my life to have the enlightenment. And this is also freedom of the soul from the body. So that's what it says. So Sri Ramakrishna says to Mani Malli, give up hypocrisy. That is love God. Remove your love for the worldliness. That was Sri Ramakrishna saying is give up hypocrisy. Money. Regarding whom? God or man? Hypocrisy. So he makes one little fun. Whom? Master. Regarding everything, man as well as God. One must not be a hypocrite, not towards God, not towards human beings. Be simple and straightforward towards human being also. And of course, not towards God. Now he gives the example of Bhavanath. Bhavanath was there. And he says, how guileless Bhavanath is. When you give up hypocrisy, you become very simple. And you don't consider other things. And that simplicity, he says, how guileless Bhavanath is. After his marriage, he came to me and asked, why do I feel so much love for my wife? Alas, he's so guileless. So, this was the question asking to a holy man why I feel so much attracted towards my wife, why I must feel so much love for towards my wife. So, what was Sri Ramakrishna says? So simple was Bhavanath, asking such simple worldly question to a holy man. And whatever he felt, he had no problem in expressing that to Sri Ramakrishna. That why, what is the reason I feel so love for my wife, he said. Uh, isn't it natural for a man to love his wife? This is due to the world bewitching Maya of the divine mother of the universe. A man feels about his wife that he has no one else in the world so near and dear, that she is his very own in life and death, here and hereafter. Then somehow Sri Ramakrishna says that is the ignorance that a man feels towards his wife or wife feels towards man, that they are so close, they will look after me when in need. So one person was unmarried until age 40. Now suddenly fear came to him. Somebody said, either his mother or someone, you're now 40, now you grow old. If you are unmarried, who will look after you when you are old and sickness, something happens? Then he thought out of it, and then he got married. With what purpose? Wife will look after when he is sick, to solve that purpose. So after that, what happens? After some times, they have children and all that was fine. After that, the wife says, "I want to divorce you." Now you see. Now who will look after? Now who will look after when he is now almost 60 years age. So who will look after him now? No time to even get married to look after him. So temporary is the thing. Yet human being feels that they are so close, so near, so they will look after them, and that is because of the Maya, world bewitching Maya. Divine Mother makes us think in a so different way. Hmm? That's what Sri Ramakrishna says. Wise person will not think that way. That to find support from someone is very selfishness. It is not something that you get married. Our Shastra says the marriage is the purpose of the marriage is having the progeny, next generation to come. And the world goes on like that, nothing else more than that. When will we die? Who will take care? That is all God does through so many beings, whether it is through wife or whether it is through other relative or whether it is through the social system. It is up to God that takes care. Otherwise, there is no one. If you depend on human being, you will fail. Human being, you cannot depend on that. It is God who does. I told the story of Swami Atmananda, direct disciple of Swami Vivekananda. He was quite sick, very, very strong person, very great Vairagyavan person. Uh, and he was in Varanasi in his last days of his life. So when in Varanasi, he was lying on the bed, and for him were deputed two brahmacharis to take his care. And they knew about the Swami, great monk. Um, Not the Atmananda of Raipur, before that, Swamiji's direct disciple. This Raipur Atmananda who made the Raipur Vivekananda Ashram is the second Swami Atmananda for order. So this Atmananda was saying, and these brahmacharis one day thought this Swami was so strong built and he used to be so independent. Now you see how the time comes. Now he's fully dependent upon us. If we don't give medicine, he cannot eat. If we don't give food, he cannot eat. If we don't turn, he cannot even turn himself. What is the life? It's so dependent on us. Suddenly, that Swami Atmananda, old, frail, sick person in the bed, he says, "Do you think I'm dependent on you? Do you think you take my care? You just pick me with the cart and put me on the crossroad outside. Just outside is the crossroad in Varanasi ashram. And just leave it there on the road. My guru will come and take my care. What do you think? You think you are taking my care? It is all my because of my guru's grace. This arrangement is made. You just throw me there. My guru will come and he will make all arrangement for my care. So much dependent on guru and God. So that is what the faith in God, not being dependent on human beings, but on God. So whatever we receive, all the kindness and love and care we receive, is we should always be thankful to God for all that thing. That way, never anything negative comes for the person. So today person is doing something and tomorrow what you expected it doesn't happen. Then you start blaming the person. Oh, that person has changed. It's not like previous, like other time. You have changed more. You are expecting more. That person has not changed. It is out of now. Your demand has increased so much. That person cannot do that. It's not possible for that. And you are blaming that person if you depend on the person. If you depend on God, then you have no complaint for anything. You are always happy. If God will take care, whatever is to be taken care of, that is what is being attached to God and being free from attachment to woman and gold. So, attitude of service, attitude of giving, attitude of taking care of others, and always being grateful to God for giving us so much love through so many of our relations. So, our focus is on God, and our love for God grows. We become that way. We're always thankful for everyone. A little thing someone does, you are thankful to that person because it is God that does through that person. You say thank you from the heart to that person. And always, for small things also, you are very happy to, that's why the relationship grows. And because your expectations are not there at all. And when expectations are not there, then there is no problem of being angry on that person. Oh, you didn't do that. Then once you become angry, there comes a list of things. What you didn't do last year, the year that way, on 13th March 2013, you do that. Like that, so many things you remember it comes. It's all computer-like thing, as if you are seeing the data from all the things it comes because of expectation. Less expectation, more relying on God, and life is so beautiful and sweet and so happy. So, like that is what Thakur is saying, to be not attached to the world, but renounce woman and gold means renounce attachment to the world and selfishness, and see the world as manifestation of God. All relations as the manifestation of God. Serve them as much you can do. Be independent. Don't be dependent on others for everything. That you need a glass of water, go and bring. You don't have to ask everything from other. So when you ask someone, can you give me a glass of water? Can you make me tea? We become so much dependent. Particularly in husbands become so much dependent on wives, and they expect them wife to do all the things. Always they will have to make tea whenever they come from office. Both have come from the same time, but the wife has to, after coming from office, wife has to go to the kitchen and make the thing, tea and snacks, and have to serve. Some days she's tired, some days she's not keeping well, and then if she does little less, oh, you never do that, you see, after that much you cannot go and make. You can say, remain today you at your place, I will make tea today. See, find my tea, it is tasty or not. Like that, sharing and caring and not demanding anything, life becomes so sweet for everyone, so joyful for everyone. No attachment, no expectation, serving others, being dependent upon others, not asking simple things that you can do for yourself to others. It makes your health also good, they say. In the office, when you have the things in the file, they say don't keep all the files on the table, keep on the almirahs. And whenever whatever you need, go and walk and bring that from the almirah. That will keep your health okay. Often now in the smartwatch says it is time to stand. It says it is time to walk. Go to the things and go and bring the glass of water for yourself. You don't have to do. Your wife is busy in making something, doing something, taking care of the child. So that will make your health good. That will make your relation good, and that's how life will become sweet. Madhuvata. They will come when we are self-dependent for many things, and we see God's grace coming through so many people to us in our life. Thank you. Now the closing chant. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu Jananim Saradam Devim Ramakrishnam Jagadgurum Padapadme Tayo Sritva Pranamami Muhurmu. Yes. So those who have not yet sent their proxy form, they can kindly send by email or just write the email saying that proxy. Um, my representative as to Swami Kripamayananda, and just send all the members. Please send your proxies so that we reach before AGM. So we have Kali Puja on 12th from 6:30 p.m. and it will be about 1 hour 15 minutes puja. Then there will be arati, and after that Puspanjali and Prasad. So we plan to finish by 8:15, 8:30 and take away prasad. And next Friday, I'm not in Toronto. Next Friday it will be only online, and that will be able to do it from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Thank you very much for attending today's class, and good night to everyone.